Happy Winning Wednesday. This is your daily morning motivational message because motivation's a lot like taking a bath or personal hygiene, brushing your teeth to make sure that the funk does not accumulate and then permeate the very spaces that you deliberate in. I just wanted to rhyme. So listen, I want to talk to you about the journey of the self, the personal, the personal, the personal. So much of our life is spent living in someone else's confine, in someone else's paradigm, in someone else's structure. We have a job. We report to our employer. We work for a company. We become loyal to that company, and that company dictates the patterns of how we move. It dictates our income. It dictates our lifestyle based on the income that that company is going to pay us. We get involved in a relationship, and we start to serve the relationship more than we serve ourselves, our own personal growth and development and journeys. And sometimes we can lose ourselves in that relationship. We have children, and then the children take up so much bandwidth as responsible parents who are loving and caring. And sometimes we can lose ourselves in the role of parenting, and we miss the opportunities to continue to deepen and develop our own journey of growth and spiritual development. There are so many opportunities for distraction. If you are a religious practitioner, sometimes you can get lost in that as a volunteer, as a steward, as a disciple. And then you get involved with church activities and prayer groups and worship service. And you do all of these things to please and serve other things outside of the self, outside of the personal. And I want to bring you back to the personal in this morning's quick conversation, because the healing that takes place has to be done alone. If you continuously look for exterior entities to support and endorse your healing process, that is not taking full ownership and responsibility of your journey, of the self, because now you're allocating that into different spaces. If you lose yourself in alcohol or emotional eating or drug use as a part of your solution to dealing with the difficulties of your own journey, unresolved issues, unaddressed situations, things that are internal that you just haven't been willing or had the courage enough to deal with on your own, then again, not only are you giving your power away, but you're avoiding the very thing that's going to set you free. And that is the time that we each spend in the accountability mirror, the time that we spend examining our life, examining those things that we have done up to this point, our past transgressions, our missteps and mistakes. Not that when you make a mistake, the mistake makes you. It's that you're making the mistake and you're learning from that and you're growing from it, okay? And so the personal, the journey of the personal is really taking ownership of how you're going to show up in this thing called life. You are not a victim. You don't have to stay stuck. You have the opportunity and the capacity to set yourself free. Now, it may not unfold as ideally as you would want it to unfold, but if you're willing to do the work and stay the course, you will get to that freedom. And when I'm talking about freedom, the freedom to wake up every day and know you're exactly where you are destined to be. You're exactly in the place that you envisioned in your mind. You're exactly the person that you dreamed about. Someone who wakes up every morning with honor, who moves in integrity, who serves others, who doesn't beat other people down, who doesn't do other people wrong, but you're there and you're showing up with the spirit of the best version of who you can be today. Not tomorrow, not who you were yesterday, but the best version of yourself today. And so that journey of the self, that personal journey, it takes a lot of work, a lot of work. And so you have to be willing to go through that. It's not going to be easy. As a matter of fact, it will probably be one of the most difficult things that you ever do. How many times have you encountered someone and they're what we would call adult age, but they have arrested development. They're mentally and emotionally stunted, immature, doing dumb things as a grown-ass man or a grown-ass woman, doing foolish activities, engaging in ridiculous behaviors, self-sabotage, abuse, alcoholism, drugs, sex addiction, you name it. They're doing all these things, being irresponsible, being silly, being flighty. And you're wondering, well, I don't understand. You're a grown up. How do you not know any better? Because there are unresolved issues that have not been dealt with because they have not been willing to go deep into the journey of the self. They have not taken the time to examine their own life. Don't be like most people. That's what most people do. They live unexamined lives. And so understanding that you have an opportunity each and every day to dig a little bit deeper, because I believe that there are things within each of us that we have not tapped into yet because we've allowed ourselves to get sidetracked by life. Life is always going to life. There are going to be unexpected circumstances that come your way. There will be unpleasant surprises. There are going to be betrayals. People are going to hurt you and do you wrong. And there are going to be individuals that are wanting and wishing and waiting for you to fail. You cannot personalize that. Don't internalize that, because when you do that, it becomes a permanent part of your psyche. Don't allow anyone, as the great Howard Thurman said, don't allow anyone or anything to dictate the thermostat of your soul. Because if they can dictate the thermostat, then they're always going to mandate the temperature. Howard Thurman, the mystic, the great philosopher, the brilliant leader in religious circles and of Morehouse College. So understand, ladies and gentlemen, you have to control your thermostat. And the only way that you're going to control your thermostat is by going into the journey of the personal. That means taking 100% responsibility for your current situation. It means if you're at a job that you're not excited about, if you're in a relationship that you're not excited about, if you're in an organization or a business that you're not excited about, look in the mirror. What did you do to create that circumstance? How did you contribute to being where you're at right now? Because whether you like it or not, wherever you are right now, you made in your life, you made an appointment to be there by your choices or lack thereof, by your discernment or lack thereof. And if you're not willing to take a good look in the mirror, then you're not going to learn from whatever mistakes you may have made, whatever missteps you may have made, and you're just going to keep repeating. It's like having the same test each and every time in different formations, and you continuously fail because you're not doing the journey of the personal. So I want to encourage you this morning to take some time and get your journal and start writing. If you don't have a journal, go buy one and just write. Let it come out. Right. Just write. I want you to take some time and do more reading and reflection. I want you to take some time and get off of the weapon of mass distraction that you're watching me on right now. This is the phone, and use the phone as I talked about. Don't let the phone lead to your brain rot. You use the phone. The phone doesn't use you. But take some time to look in the mirror. Take some time to reflect. Take some time to look at where you messed up and how you've contributed to where you're at right now. It's like the person that comes to me and says, "Hey man, I'm upside down. I'm in a lot of debt. And I need to, figure out a way out." Well, what were the choices and the steps that got you here? Because if you got into a lot of debt, don't think you're going to just snap your fingers and get out of it really quickly. It's going to take a lot of work, and you have to do some internal work so that you can recognize those patterns that got you there in the first place. People don't just fall off a cliff. They get there one step, one day at a time, one poor choice at a time. It's a very, very subtle turn off the main path to your success into the ditch or off of a cliff. It happens very subtly. It's almost imperceptible, but it's very subtle. And so if you're not willing to do the work, ladies and gentlemen, you're just going to keep sliding off. Okay. No one just wakes up at the bottom of the hill. They go down there slowly. It's the same way for success. There's no such thing as an overnight success. People get to success one day, one choice, one action at a time, and it compounds. Well, it's the same thing for failure. It's the same thing for poor mistakes. It's the same thing for ending up in situations that you know you don't want to be in. But guess what? There's a way out. There's a way out. And it may not look the way you thought it was going to look or supposed to look, but I'm telling you right now, if you do the work, if you do the journey of the personal work, ladies and gentlemen, not only will you experience great revelation, but you're going to experience great elevation. Do the work, the journey of the personal. Take accountability. Take some time to be still. Stop making rash decisions and emotional decisions. Take some time to be still. And sometimes you're going to have to bask in the pain of the situation that you're in so that you can fully realize all that you're there to learn from that pain, all that you can extrapolate from that situation that is causing you great discomfort. There is opportunity there for extraordinary growth. There's opportunity there for extraordinary breakthrough. There's opportunity there for high elevation transformation. If you're willing to subject yourself with rigorous honesty to who you are, who you were that got you to who you are, and most importantly, who do you want to be? Don't be a prisoner to your past. See, your past can be your teacher, but don't let it be your torture. So many people, they live stuck in their past and they allow the past to be a torture and not a teacher, and they become prisoner to it because they won't release it. They won't let it go. Move on and move up. You get to choose. You get to decide. And you know what I've learned? You have some memories that are painful, but you get to change them. Did you know that? Now watch this now, stay with me. You can literally change your memory. And I give you an example. I have a very painful memory of watching someone that fostered me in this world try to take their own life. And what that did to me as a child. But I've reconstructed the memory and I've now reframed it. I've changed it. And I tell myself that was an opportunity for me to get closer to my creator. It was an opportunity for me to wrestle with some of the most difficult and cosmic life events that were going to take place in this thing called life. I learned early on that life is precious. I learned early on that life in tomorrow is not promised. I learned early on not to take the time that I have with my loved ones for granted. I learned early on that pain and suffering are real. And just because someone I'm looking up to, or I may look to them as a hero, doesn't mean they're not flawed, doesn't mean that they don't have pain and trial and tribulation, doesn't mean that they may not always know how to cope. And that created great empathy in me. That situation, that dynamic, that memory. I've turned a painful, almost destructive memory into something that is useful. Don't be a prisoner to your past. Don't assign a memory with a permanent negative anchor in your life. You can reframe it because you get to choose. You get to create your life. You get to decide how you're going to respond moving forward. You're not a victim. You're a victor. You can be a victor if you choose. That's my message for you this morning. Sit on that. Go back and listen to this again. If you got some value out of this, if it hits you in the heart, please like and subscribe and pass it on. Share it because it's a blessing to be a blessing. We'll see you in the morning.